there's a lot of fear going on, and I'm going to sum this up fairly briefly and quick on how you can overcome this fear and tips and tricks you can do to overcome it. And really, the true thing at the end of the day to overcome fear completely is the realization of love, the realization of oneness, the realization of there's nothing to be fearful, worried about, because it always, realize this, it always works out for you in the end. And even if it didn't, and let's say that, this virus takes out 20% of the world population, a war does break out, which none of this shit's going to happen. Or aliens come down here and overtake us, or whatever, because there's some wild stuff going on. Reptilian overlords and, all this silly fear-based mongering BS that goes around. The quickest way to overcome this is through love. And, a lot of people are going to say, well, how am I going to overcome fear? Through love. Well, me just saying that, you're not going to be able to grasp that, but you can start implementing it into your life until you get to the point that you realize it. Because you have to have self-love. Self-love does not just mean you. It means everything in the universe, because you are the universe. You're not just the universe. You're everything held within the universe, which is consciousness. So you're everything within the universe and everything that could be outside of the universe, because the universe is held within consciousness. There's only consciousness. There's only God. You're conscious. You are God. You created everything within the universe. Realize that. It will help you to realize this, because it will quickly overcome your fear, because you realize this all came from a place of love, and whatever happens is perfect and beautiful. But to people that may not believe me or have not realized this, or even think that, well, he's saying I'm God, but surely I'm not God. I can't be God. I mean, I didn't make all this. I didn't create all this. What does he mean, love? Like, this isn't practical. Well, you're right. I mean, you got me there. Except you are God, and you did create all this, but it does not seem practical to materialistic people. I get it. So I'm going to give you some tips to start incorporating until you actually can realize this for yourself, that you are God. You have created the entire universe, and it all came from a place of love, because there's nothing but love, because there's nothing but consciousness, there's nothing but God. God is consciousness, God is the mind is God, consciousness and love. They all correlate with each other. So once you realize this, then you won't fear anything. Once you realize this, you'll realize all this is an illusion, and you're imagining it all. So I'm a projection of your own mind. So until you get to that, I am going to say that there is some practical things you can do, and this involves, some things that I have said before. Exercising, jogging, hiking, getting out in nature, meditating, yoga. You can also have a dialogue with yourself, because whether you realize it or not, that's where the devil came from, is another side of you. Because if you notice, there'll be one thing telling you, fuck it, let's do this, I want to do this, and another part of you's like, well, wait, we absolutely shouldn't do that. Why do you think we should do that? And then you start going back and forth. So that's where that came from. But have a talk with yourself. You can even trace this back. So what I mean by trace it back is, let's say that you're worried about this. Someone in your area supposedly had an outbreak, right? They got tested positive for the coronavirus, and they think 3 or 4 other people in that area's got it. So you start freaking out, but then find out where you heard this information from. Can you verify it? It's the main thing. A lot of people get freaked out and afraid over things they cannot verify, and they just take people's words for it. And because it's in a news article, or because this scientist signed off on it, or this person signed off on it, or that person signed off on it, they believe it more for whatever reason, even though you can't verify it. So why give your authority to someone else when you can't verify any of it? You're engaging in fear mongering, and you are engaging in silliness, really. You're engaging in this whole thing, and what you're doing is not bad. It doesn't matter what you're doing, really. I mean, if you want to live your life in fear, and you want think everybody's out to get you, and you want to think that the government's out to get you, and this person's holding you down, and you want to, you want to do drugs, you want to go have sex with 30 people in a night, and just whatever you want to do is fine. It does not matter. If you want to engage in devilry, then go for it, because God's still going to love you. So, do whatever. Just some of these things I say may benefit you. Realize that. May benefit you to realize this. Not just to realize I'm trying to benefit you here, but that's, you can do whatever you want at the end of the day, but it would probably benefit you to start tracing these things back and realizing that you can't verify it, and you're engaging in fear mongering, and you're engaging in a bunch of bullshit. You're playing a mind game with yourself. So, at the end of the day, truth is true to you. So, if you really think this, then it's going to be true. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you do, what you think. If you want to engage in this, then engage in it. If you want to realize what I'm telling you is the truth, then start your journey and realize what I'm telling you is the truth. Your life would be a lot better. People ask me sometimes, they ask me what the payoff in this is. What's the payoff in realizing what you are, who you are? What's the payoff in starting this journey? What's the payoff? Well, I'll tell you the payoff. You no longer have your mind going in 500 different directions. You no longer have crazy emotions bringing you down. You start seeing things clearly. You start having love for everyone and everything. And you start going and helping others, because what else is there better to do with your time? You have nothing else better to do. And if you think you have something else better to do, I would really evaluate what you think you have better to do. Because really, what do you have better to do? What do you have better to do than to work on bettering yourself? What else do you have better to do than working on helping other people? What else do you have better to do than trying to master this reality? There's nothing better to do. So, maybe start doing that. Start loving yourself. Start loving others. Start not letting fear, ego, panic, anxiety, depression, all this other shit pull you in 500 different directions and ruin your whole day, which will ruin your whole week, possibly. Then it might fuck your whole month up. Then that could lead into a year. And here you are, right here, right now, eternally miserable. No fun in that, eh? But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. I do want to come on here, though. There is a video that I've been working on, and it's probably going to be possibly a longer video. It's going to detail, like I said, there's a lot of scripture and text and stuff that kind of points you in the direction of what I'm telling you. I also want to delve deep into what I believe is the story of Jesus, where the devil originated from, Buddha, and all this. I've spent quite a bit of time thinking about this. So I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And don't let fear control you, man. It's not the end of the world, I promise. And even if it was, it's beautiful and perfect.